seconds. Countdown. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Jordane Show. I'm Just Jordane here hanging out. We got our blue screen, green screen behind us. We got Dark Side of the Ring coming on. And we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, a lot about the Dark Side of the Ring, because the Dark Side of the Ring, it's on Vice. It's on the Vice channel. If you guys haven't been able to check out the documentaries on wrestling, it's the Dark Side of the Ring. And I know that a lot of the guys have mixed feelings about it because they don't necessarily like the fact that it just makes them look. It doesn't make it look. It doesn't necessarily put pro wrestling in the most positive light. That's one of the main things about it. A lot of people have a lot of complaints about it, and I'm talking about people who are more on the inside of the business, who are more familiar with it. And not every wrestler is like that. And a lot of times this show likes to paint their own narrative, and that's fine. I get that. That you have to tell a story, and they have a television show on a national network. So of course they're going to be talking about that. Of course they're going to be painting their narrative, because we're all artists, aren't we? And trying to tell a story to get you emotionally captivated. Just like they got Ric Flair canceled a couple weeks ago. And you know, the whole like getting canceled thing is pretty funny, because you're only canceled for like a week or two. And then after that, it's like everybody forgets because they're busy canceling somebody else. So like even with that being said, Ric Flair was canceled a couple weeks ago because of something that he did 20 years ago, which is kind of the meme that people even talk about, because they're like, oh shit, well, this happened 20 years ago. Well, can we not learn? Can we not become a better person? Because obviously you can, guys. Obviously you can. And then people react to it in the way that they're going to react, and then you let them react, and then what do? You let time pass, and then eventually either they get over it or they forget about it. That's how it goes. We're all humans. We're all people. And you can't just be worried about one thing for majority of your life. You just can't be. It's complicated and it's tough. What's up, guys, over there on Instagram? Sorry, I'm chit-chatting. We started rolling. Once we start rolling, you guys know how it is. If you guys want a better view, you can jump onto YouTube, Facebook, D Live, and Twitch. Soon to be Odyssey. But I haven't messed with it yet. I'll mess with it eventually. I don't have any time. I haven't had any time recently. I've been going to training, pro wrestling training. I've been going to training. I've been lifting weights. I've been working. I've been doing. I have, like, you guys know, like, I have like 5 or 6 different side jobs. So I've just been going all over the goddamn place, and it is what it is. So we're getting ready to get over these conversations. Krista, what's up, Krista? Lori, thank you. Thank you for liking the page, first of all, Lori. And then Krista, thank you for going on in the comments. She said, I love it. Time heals all. Yes. And that's one of the big things that you have to remember as well. Time definitely heals wounds. It heals all wounds. It heals your psychological wounds, and it heals your scars and your scar tissue and those types of things. So with that being said, with the Dark Side of the Ring being what the Dark Side of the Ring is, it's not the most positive television show. Obviously, it's called the Dark Side of the Ring for a reason, just like the Dark Side of the NFL, just like the Dark Side of whatever the hell other shows they have. And they're taking advantage of the fact that they can do that. Oh, shit, Allison's here. Allison, how are you? One of the OGs. OG Allison's been back there since... Allison, you jumped on to mine and Nasty Leroy's live stream, didn't you? Isn't that whenever we made our connection? I think that's when it was. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure that it was one of my streams that I had with Nasty Leroy. And me and Nasty Leroy got to do that again, too, because it's always fun chit-chatting with Nasty Leroy. Yes, a year ago, we've been doing this stream for, yeah, we have. Actually, I think that I did technically started in November. I'm pretty sure that I started in November. So we've been going strong too. We've been going strong. See, guys, we've been going strong. I don't go as often I mean, there was a time whenever I was going like every day of the week. And I would love to do that, but once I get myself to a point to where I can do that, I'll definitely do that because it's always fun chatting with you guys. And I think that it's very important, and I don't know if I should get into it yet. I don't know if I should get into it yet. I don't want to bring us down, but the dark side of the ring's probably going to bring us down anyway. And I don't like being a downer, but I also like being real with you guys, and I like having real human conversations, and I like being able to share what's going on with my life, what's going on. Okay, we'll get into it. Allison, yes, a year ago, Alex said, "Get into it." All right, we're gonna get into it. But hey, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm warning you now. I just got some bad news. I got some very bad news. And it's a common theme since we've been doing the show for a year now. It's a common theme that we've had multiple conversations about this, and I have multiple conversations with a bunch of more kids than anything. More kids hit me up on the DMs. And they tell me how they're having a hard time dealing with their life, and they don't necessarily want to be in the world anymore, or whatever your interpretation of that is. They don't want to be here anymore. They're not happy. And I had a family member recently pass away within a day or two, and there's so many variables that go into why these types of things happen, and it's easy to judge people from the outside, and I always hate when people do that. I always hate when people try to say, "Oh, well, if I was there, it would have been different." Well, if it was me, they wouldn't have said, that type of stuff. Of course, context is everything. Every situation is different. So, and you're a different person. So people handle things differently. And we just had one of our cousins passed away by his own hand, and I just want, I get tired, and, we had our CZW show this weekend, and they did a 10 bell salute for DK. And guys, like, what the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck is why are all these young kids, like, wanting to, what is going on, man? Like, is it the internet making people feel like they're not enough? Why do you feel? See, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through these emotions right now because I just got the news, like, literally maybe 2 hours ago, and I'm like, wait a minute. Who? What? No. Oh no. And then it's one of those things where it's like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. And I hate that. I hate that because you get that a lot. And because of wrestling, because of the internet, because of all these things, we've had these conversations before. I get tired of having the conversations, but it keeps hitting so close to home, like we have to, because you have to understand that there are people here that are here for you, and there are people here that care. And a lot of times those negative feelings that you are feeling is temporary. I know that sounds stupid. I know that doesn't make any sense. I know that I'm being Mr. Positive. I trust me. I understand that too much too much positive stuff turns people off and all these other good things. I get that when you're trying to push too much. But at a certain point, you have to make sure that people understand that you have somewhere to go to where you can just talk. You can just let it out, and you can have somebody else maybe bring their perspective in, and it'll help you see things a little bit differently. Maybe it'll help you realize that the answer isn't necessarily that you have to get rid of yourself. You don't have to vacate the earth. It's very tough. And I get frustrated because I feel like a lot of the things that are happening on in the world, and you see all the negativity, but if it bleeds, it leads. So of course you're going to see the negativity, and all of that's pushed into people's faces. And it's not like you can escape it because it's on your phone now. People used to say, stop watching TV. Even before that, stop reading. All these things, like there's a balance. There's good and there's bad. There's positive things you can get from it. There's negative things you can get from it. And it seems like we're at a stage right now, because we've never had the internet as a human species before, that we're having a hard time handling our emotions and our monkey brains, or whatever the hell you want to call it. We're having a hard time. I've seen so many young people take their own lives that it's just getting to the point to where I don't even know what to say or do, because you don't expect it. You don't really think that that's the case, that that's possible, until it happens. And then it's like, what the hell? But guys, if there's anything that I want you to get from this show, you can always talk to me. You can always jump into the chat, and we can always have conversations about everything. And we try to keep this lighthearted, and we always try to have fun. So guys, if you're in a situation like that, and I don't mean a specific situation, I mean if you feel like you're in a position where you don't feel like you want to be here anymore, you have to talk to somebody. You have to talk to somebody, preferably somebody who cares about you, because they're going to let you know that, like, hey, look, I know you don't care if you're here, but I care, and I really want you here. And it's all very tough. It's all very tough. But what can you do? What can you do? It's a modern problem. It's a modern world, and we have to figure out how we're going to get back in. So anyway, I'm sorry, brother. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it, brother. It's weirdly becoming a normal thing, and I don't like saying that. Allison, I'm so sorry, Jordane. I know people depressed and they don't say anything. That's a big thing. Of course they don't. They suffer in silence, and then they do what they feel is necessary, and no one around them wants that to be necessary, but it happens, man. It happens, and it's never easy to deal with. And I never thought at 34 I would have this many friends and family members who would have taken their own lives like that. It's crazy to me. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know, whatever. I know that it's not a good thing. And to be serious on our live streams, I just think that we got to support each other, guys. I want this community to be supportive, and I want us to, we'll make jokes, we'll talk shit. Y'all can talk shit about me, make fun of my hair. I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, if somebody's really going through something, try to be as supportive as possible. Do your best to be as supportive as possible. And you know what? Maybe call a couple of friends who you haven't heard from in a long time. Maybe call some of your family members who you haven't heard from in a long time. That's one of the things that is going to keep us going. It's going to keep us alive, guys. All we have is each other. That's all we have. Anyway, Jackson Drake, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, brother. I've got no words. I've got no words. We'll go on back to the chat, and then we'll get into Luna. We're going to try to get our minds off of things. Well, I'm going to try to get my mind off of things. Have a little bit of fun. Talk about Luna Vachon, and I used to love Luna Vachon. She was crazy. She was crazy fucking wrestler, but always fun. Always fun. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Christopher Barkloff. Said prayers. Sorry for your loss. Rachel, thank you, Rachel. Allie, I'm crazy too, but in a good way. As long as it's in a good way, Allie. It has to be in a good way. It doesn't matter. You can be crazy. Just be as cray-cray as you want to be, Allie. Be as cray-cray as you want to be. Stephen Fowler, I had this happen to a close family member a few months ago. I know exactly what you mean. Stephen, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. I'm under the thought process that I don't think anybody should have to deal with that, but we always do. And there's always something, there's always something. Christopher Barkloff, yesterday I was in a car accident. We are okay. My mom had bruises and sprained back. I had bruises and a sprained foot. We went to the ER. Me and my mom got x-rays. I hope that you guys are okay, Christopher Barkloff. I'm glad that you guys are okay. As long as you guys can walk out of it, man, that's huge right there. That's huge right there. That's a big win. That's a big win for all of us. That's a big win for all of us. All right. Let's do it. We're going to jump in now. Now that I've got the serious stuff out the way. What's up, Heather? How you doing over there on the old IG? Now we're going to go on and get into it. We're going to do our review of the Dark Side of the Ring of Luna Vachon. And now we know that the Dark Side of the Ring has their own narrative that they like to push, and I like to shit on that. Normally I love shitting on it. But this is a little bit of a different episode. This is a fun episode. I guess it could be fun. I mean, it's not necessarily a happy ending, but look at Luna right there. Could you believe that was Luna? I had no idea that was Luna. I didn't know that Luna looked like that back in the day. But Luna, call Heather. I am great. How are you doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, Heather. I'm doing okay. I'm getting by. We're getting there. So, Luna Vachon. As Luna's last name suggests, she was indeed part of the Vachon family. Mad Dog Vachon, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but there was a Paul Vachon, something like that. Famous wrestling family in Canada with a number of wrestlers in its ranks. However, Luna wasn't born into the Vachon family. She was adopted by Paul Vachon after he was in the motel where her real father was killed. Paul married Luna's mom, becoming her stepdad and welcoming her into the Vachon family. Luna was enamored by professional wrestling as a whole, but it was her wrestling aunt that really inspired her to become the latest in a long line of Vachons to step into the ropes, especially back then, especially being a woman. Oh shit, Butcher, the Butcher Blood is here. What's up, Blood? How are you, brother? We're talking about Luna Vachon tonight. We got Luna Vachon tonight. If you've seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode of Luna Vachon, that's kind of what we're reviewing. But if you have any Luna Vachon stories, I also remember the first time that I saw Luna was in WCW. I don't remember. Was it WCW? It might have been WWE. It was whenever I met. It might have been when Sherry, Butcher Vachon. Oh, thank you, Blood. Thank you, Blood. It was Butcher Vachon. Butcher Vachon was around before Mad Dog Vachon, right, Blood? I don't remember exactly that. But other family members of the family tried to talk her out of it. By the time she was 16, she was training with the Fabulous Moolah. But if she was training with the Fabulous Moolah, that's a little risky. Moolah has been a subject of the Dark Side of the Ring episode herself. The former WWE Women's Champion has been accused of exploiting the often young girls she trained. Fellow wrestlers Mad Maxine claims Moolah sent young Luna to a guy who was supposed to do a photo shoot, but he attacked the 16-year-old and attempted to rape her, and she fought him off. Apparently, that's what Dark Side of the Ring says. Hopefully she did. Becoming Luna Vachon. So what I really loved about the episode was the fact that they showed her making her transition into Luna, where she went a little cray-cray. She went a little cray-cray in the nay-nay. And she changed her voice, but she had a normal voice and she was acting like a news broadcaster originally, and she lost her mind. She lost her mind being involved with shit. What was his name? Damn it. What was his name? Anyway, we'll continue on with the article, and then as I have memories come up, we'll go through them as well. Christopher Barkov, Luna Vachon managed Gangrel on The Oddities, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Shawn Michaels. Yes, she did all of them in the WWE, but she had a very long history in professional wrestling. She was not only a WWE wrestler, she was a professional wrestler through and through. She was a wrestler's wrestler. The first time Luna became the wrestler fans would come to know her as was in CWF. Luna played a journalist in an angle with Kevin Sullivan. I don't know why I couldn't remember Kevin Sullivan's name. I don't know why, but that's disrespectful, Ronald. Bad, Ronald. Bad. You have to remember legends' names. Kevin Sullivan, who grabbed and possessed her. And I didn't know that Kevin Sullivan always had the demonic gimmick. He always had the Antichrist gimmick, even back in the 80s. That's so fucking awesome. I love it. And the crazy thing is, he was so much more risque back in the day. So much more risque. Like the Dungeon of Doom was kind of corny and kind of childish. But at that level, you kind of have to be, because you're going to turn too many people off. So you do have to be a little bit more on the hokey side so that people are more comfortable with you and they understand that you're not super serial or super serious. Turning her into the character she would be for years to come across various promotions. That was probably what she wanted. That was probably her idea. It was also around this time that Luna got caught up in the drug culture that was rampant in wrestling at the time. Ooh, is there still a drug culture? Let me think. So I've watched The Wrestler and the drug culture. Let's comment on the drug culture in professional wrestling real quick. I know that there are people that do things. I know that there are people that do drugs and shit. But you get that in everything. Like, there's always different people who do drugs. But I remember watching The Wrestler, the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. And they had a wrestler there that was like a walking pharmaceutical company. He had like every pill you wanted, every steroid you wanted, all these other good things. Now, I've met like wannabe guys like that, but I've never seen a guy who just had everything on him, ready to go more than anything. Like, I've never seen that. Blood. Blood's right, yeah. Blood, yeah, exactly. Blood, it's more just a weed culture. Nowadays, it's more just a weed culture. Like, back then, I'm sure that look, guys, a lot of us younger wrestlers grew up reading wrestling books and paying attention to all the internet stuff going on, and we're aware of all the traps that are out there in the world, and we didn't want to be like that. So the older wrestlers for a while would make fun of the younger wrestlers for just playing video games when they're on the road. But what are they supposed to do? Go out and do coke and get drunk and you do all kinds of ridiculous dumb shit? You really want your wrestlers doing that? You want your wrestlers to be animals, but I don't think you want them to be drugged up animals, because that ain't going to last. That ain't going to last. Doesn't last very long. But those she worked with also started to realize she may have bipolar disorder and even schizophrenia. Yep, maybe. I mean, who knows, right? She probably didn't go to the doctors about it, and it's probably undiagnosed, but there probably. Most wrestlers that I've met, that I know, our market is not the rich, privileged market. It's not, you don't get a lot of those types of people coming in there. Usually it's from more poorer areas, people who don't really have much, and they gravitate to the grandiose theatrics of it because there's so much that you can be attracted to. There's so much that you would want to have. It's so lively. There's so much going on. It's so exciting. It's so much more exciting than anything that you've ever experienced. So of course, being able to travel the world, living your dreams, doing wrestling, man, you can't beat that. You can't. That's where I came from. It's exactly where I came from, so it is what it is. Luna would play an unhinged character when in the ring and was often shy backstage. However, there was no clear line between the two sides of her. Yeah, well, that's just part of it. Luna would marry a number of men in the business over the course of her career. The first was Dick Slater, who came close, some close to her believed used to physically beat her, abuse her, and nothing was ever proved. Luna would go on to manage the Blackhearts, a tag team with David Heath, better known to WWE fans as Gangrel, and who was one half. One half of that or one half of her? I don't know. All right, guys. Give me a minute. Let me go IHTP, and I will BRB. Laura! Laura's here! Laura's here! Oh, my God, Laura's here! I know. Sorry, Laura. I know, Laura. Laura, don't judge me for that. Don't judge me for that. I'm going to put the timer back on, and I will be right back. So give me a minute. The audio back on there now. Let's see. I think the audio is back on there now. And we got good old Luna. And let me see if I got that other picture of David Heath. Did I find the picture of David Heath? I did. I thought I did. No, I have those two on there. But, oh, no, it's not on there. Oh, okay, that's okay. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, cool. Hold on. Let's see if I can put that up there real quick. Because... okay. There we go. Gangrel. If any of the other wrestling peeps know who Gangrel was. Cena fan, Jay's Help. What's up, guys? What's up, guys, over there? All right. I'm gonna hop back onto the comments real quick so that we can catch up and then we continue on with our show talking about old Luna in the dark side of the ring. Christopher Barclough. Luna versus Sable, 1999 Royal Rumble and a strap match for the World Wrestling Federation Women's Championship. The Dungeon of Doom, the underrated faction in WCW. And, oh, Laura. Hi, Laura. What's up, Laura? We forgot. IHTP breaks, quick and painless, as long as you don't shake it more than twice. Because if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it, guys. You have to remember that. If you shake it more than twice, you are playing with it. And you don't want to be caught playing games. You don't want to be caught playing games. So, Luna's second marriage was to the other half, Tom Nash. Her son reveals that Nash would leave. When Nash would leave, Gangrel would show up. The two eventually fought over Luna, leading to her and Nash's divorce. A short while after, Luna and Gangrel married. Gangrel wrestled a cage match that night, marrying Luna afterwards. They got matching vampire bite tattoos on their necks of the rings. So they got matching vampire tattoos. And everybody knows that Gangrel's a vampire. And he's been a vampire. It's not a gimmick, guys. It's not a gimmick. He's a vamp. He's a vamp. He's in the vamp social scene. That's what he does. He's totally into it. You can't be mad at him about that. It is what it is. So Luna really hit the big time in 1993 when she signed with the WWE, making her debut at WrestleMania IX. Is that like 6? She would go on to become the first ever female performer to be a playable character in the WWE video games. However, WWE used her as little more than a valet. There wasn't much of a women's division to speak of at the time, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Medusa, who was the women's champion at the time, felt bad for Luna and said she was going to have her win the title without telling WWE. Yeah. Okay. Let's call bullshit. Time to call bullshit. Let's call bullshit. That's horse shit. That's bullshit. Of course, you can say, oh, well, I was going to just let her win because she deserves it so much. And don't you guys want to? I'm on a documentary on Dark Side of the Ring, and I'm Medusa. So I'm just going to say this because this is going to make me look good in a positive light right now. Did she fucking do it, though? Did she do it? No. No, she didn't. Oh, so you were thinking about it. You were thinking about it. So you said that in this new documentary so that you can paint yourself in a nice positive picture because Luna's dead. She can't comment on it. And you can say, I was tempted to not tell the really? Would you fucking do that? You know you wouldn't have a job after that, right? You wouldn't have made it to WCW. You wouldn't have made it anywhere because everybody knows that they can't trust you. They can't trust you because they told you to do your job and you did not do your job. You did the opposite of what they said to do. So Medusa, full of shit, asshole. Full of shit, asshole. I'm already like, oh yeah, I'm sure you were thinking that. Oh, wow, impressive. You thought it. But you didn't do it. So who gives a shit? Wipe it clean. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything. Literally just trying to get yourself over. She explained in the episode that she told Luna to pin her and she wouldn't kick out. Ugh. Cringe. Luna said she couldn't do it and had to lift Medusa's shoulders off the mat as the Hall of Famer was adamant she was going to lose. Yeah, because, okay, so if this was real, I think it's horseshit. But if this story's real, Luna would be the one that you would trust because she's doing her job. And the other one was like, no, pin me. Okay, well, where's the video? And let's see Luna actually pulling her up because I didn't even see that in the documentary. I don't think it happened. I think it's bullshit that was added later because Medusa's trying to make herself sound a lot better than what she really is. Because that right there, come on, really? That's horseshit. That's complete horseshit. Cool for the documentary for Dark Side of the Ring, but you guys know Dark Side of the Ring will put bullshit on their thing. They will put hearsay in the documentaries. Documentary's not legal fucking science or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not. But it would have been a bad idea if she was really bad off on drugs the way that she was bad on drugs. So what are you going to do? Luna's addictions escalated at this time in her life to the point that she spent some time in rehab. She was also let go by WWE at the time, and her son revealed that she tried to kill herself on multiple occasions. As for wrestling, Luna's next stop would be ECW. And ECW is a pretty good fit. ECW was a pretty good fit for everybody, honestly. Police Gun 360. Poise Gun has subscribed. Thank you for that sub, Poise Gun. Thank you for that sub. And Luna felt like she was made for ECW. Yeah, I think she was made for ECW. See, that's exactly where I was going into. Luna really was made for ECW. She was an ECW woman through and through 100%. You cannot deny that whatsoever. That's definitely Luna. Definitely Luna. But I love this picture of her, of them two getting married right there because they look like they're happy. And there was a point when Gangrel was doing his interview and he was talking about how he felt like he let her down because he should have been around. and he wasn't. WrestleMania 9. Thank you, Christopher Barkloff. That was from her debut at WrestleMania 9. I thought it's 6, but it was 9. Thank you, Barkloff, for that. But Luna felt like she was made for ECW, definitely. Competing in violent matches and even wrestling male performers. Her stay there was short, though. As in 1997, Attitude Era was in full swing and WWE brought her back in. However, the landscape had changed. Again, the landscape always changes, guys. It's always changing. WWE decided it wanted female performers who looked good, and it didn't really matter if they could wrestle. Yeah, but they decided that because that was what was moving the numbers at the time, because it was majority a male audience at that time. Now they've switched over their demographics and they have more of a female audience on there as well. You see how it's kind of changed, right? It's not just male dominant. It is male and female. So they're marketing towards males and females. So you can't quite be so crazy violent and like with the bad words and all these other good things. It's marketing, guys. It is what it is. That's why people hate the WWE. But the WWE is marketing to a giant variety of demographics that have different cultures, different views, different perceptions all throughout. And you're trying to have all of these people connect with your product in an all-encompassing television show. And it's very hard to do. Now, WWE is probably the best one to do it so far. Now, you have had your offshoots like ECW and CZW, like ECW and CZW, who do market to that more of a hardcore type audience. And for me, it's more of a core of what professional wrestling is and was. Back in the day, 30s, 40s, and 50s, there were a lot of men and women that came to the shows anyway, but it was more of a sporting event back then. People did know that it was entertainment, and it is entertainment. And if you're thinking that the NFL is real, but it's not just there for entertainment, it is just there for entertainment. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It doesn't matter if anything's real or not. It doesn't matter if Spider-Man's real or not. Do you like it? Do you connect with it? Awesome. That's what really matters. Do you really care about the people who are involved? Because if you don't, then that's the problem. But if you do, then that's a good thing. That's what we're looking for. Okay, now we're getting on to the death now. All right, let's get on over here. All right, we'll take this picture off, and then we will put up good old Luna. God, I love Luna. She's great, right? She's great. I grew up on this woman. You guys can't hate her. Don't hate her. I mean, you could hate her if you want to, but, you know, I'd feel bad. Only for like a couple minutes. Off the rails and passing prematurely. Laura, wrestling sucks. Not entertaining. What the fuck, Laura? What the fuck? You're not helping me at all here. You're supposed to be helping me, Laura. What the fuck? Come on, Mama Laura. Damn. And guys, just so you know, because we got a lot of new viewers here as well, Mama Laura, she goes by Mama Laura. Christopher Barkloff, I watched Luna since her WWF debut. I did too. I did too, bub. I did too. Luna started to spiral after being let go by the WWE. She and Gangrel would divorce, and Luna would continue to force people that were once close to her out of her life due to the way she was acting. But it goes into what my preface of this whole show was. If you have to show your friends that you care. You have to tell your friends that you care. You have to make sure that they know that you care. Because, like, I lost a family member very recently. And you feel like... And that's why I connected so much with what Gangrel was saying whenever he was talking about how she passed away. Was, and this has been running through my mind now, today. God damn it, I was doing good. God damn it, I was doing good. So, and the thing is, like, you can't guilt trip yourself about when these types of things happen. You can't guilt trip yourself. You can't take on that burden. That was their burden, and they were trying to relieve their burden to the best of their abilities. And if they have mental problems, they're probably they not probably they there's a possibility they could kill themselves. There's a possibility, intentionally or unintentionally, whatever the case may be. We just have to try to be as positive as we can be, and we try to show everybody. So we have to show as much support that we can. Um, it's I don't know. It's hard to because I I don't even know why I decided to go live, but I know that I'm going live because I know I get a lot of DMs from a lot of suicidal kids, and I don't like that. I don't like that. That's people's first thoughts, especially when it comes to the younger kids, because like, dude, like you got so much, you got so much, you got so much that you can live for, man. You do, you really do. But anyway, before we go off on any other tangents, let's continue on. She rarely went to see her son and would never get to meet her granddaughter. Luna's son believes that he doesn't think his mom believed she was good enough for his daughter. And that's mental illness, guys. That's mental illness. She doesn't think that she's good enough for her own granddaughter. That's hard, man. That's hard. So sorry for your loss. Thank you, Laura. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, you can only do so much and let them know that you love them. Unfortunately, what happens is to them. It's on them. The people that leave behind suffer so much with the question of why. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. And I know, guys, I know that this isn't a great conversation. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. It's not all that other good stuff. I know. I get it. We've had this. Look, it sucks. We've had this conversation before, and we're probably going to have this conversation again. But we got to stay positive. We have to stay as positive as possible and try to look out for anyone you think may be possibly vulnerable. You have to. You have to, guys. You have to. To the best of your abilities, try to look out for the ones you think might be vulnerable. Try to. Because that shame, people will kill themselves just from shame alone. Just from shame alone. So now we're on the end. Luna passed away in 2010, and her son isn't entirely sure what caused her death. He thinks it was an overdose, which is the official cause of death, but also mentions that she might have choked. Mick Foley, who was close to Luna and is featured heavily during the episode, reads a eulogy for her. Foley adds that he wishes Luna had been around today to see what women's wrestling has become. That's really, yeah, because women's wrestling was amazing when it first started out. And then the WWE had their marketing tools, and they had to get pretty faces, and they had to get pretty bodies, and they had to do all of their production stuff, whatever. So that draws more of the perverted men to the television. But when they switched that over and they started focusing on having strong, powerful women doing some badass shit, things changed. Things definitely changed, and they have changed, in my opinion, for the better, because now we have a women's and a men's side, and we can wrestle each other. It doesn't fucking matter. But just the fact that there is a women's division that is stacked to the motherfucking T in whatever company you want to look at, because these little girls grew up watching wrestling. They didn't have as many superstars that they probably would have loved to have had, but the fact that they do have them now is huge. So I know everybody likes to shit on the WWE, but they got the women's revolution going. I mean, they've made so many good positive changes for the overall viewing audience. I don't think it's all that bad. I really don't think that they are that bad. Now, Dark Side of the Ring will make you believe that, of course, obviously, because that's easy to do because it's WWE. But we have to remember that we are all just people. And the WWE, though it is the largest wrestling company in the world, still, it's not perfect. So I agree with Foley. I wish that Luna would have been able to see what women's wrestling had become today, because she would be one of those legends that you just have to have around. She would be managing somebody. She would be doing so much. But hindsight's 2020. It is what it is. We can't dwell on these things so much, but it is what it is. Luna didn't have a proper funeral. Her son and her friend have differing opinions over whether that was the right thing to do. And that's their business. I don't really care about that. You know, the life that she lived was the life that she lived, and she had to do what she had to do. And though I know that a lot of the industry kind of puts the blame on things like that, but we definitely do have to remember that Luna had some mental issues. Purely out of speculation, of course. Don't know that for sure. Definitely don't know that for sure. We think that she had mental issues. Seems like it. Especially with hindsight, especially with being how things are today. Dylan Stein. What's up, Dylan Stein? How are you, Bubba? Dylan Stein, she was a great heel manager. She was one of the best. One of the best. That was how I remembered her, because I always remembered her being a crazy heel manager. And just hearing, you get your ass out of my face. The way that she would fucking do her vocals, man. Her vocals just had me going crazy, because I was like, man, that's a crazy fucking woman right there. She's crazy as shit. She'll probably stab you for fun. Just for fun. Christopher Barclough. Sable has fake silicones. Most women from that era, probably including Luna, had fake silicones, Bubba. Most did. That's like, oh, all the guys in the 80s were on steroids. Yeah, but they were all kind of on steroids, and it wasn't that big of a deal to them, so I get it. I get it in today's context, because it's against the law and stuff, but going that far back, it wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm going to be reviewing more of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes. I'll probably do a poll so that we can try to get an idea of which episode you guys want me to review. And then tomorrow, probably won't have an episode tomorrow. I have a lot of work that I have to do, and then I got wrestling training, so I'm going to be gone doing that. So no show tomorrow. We will be back Friday. I'm going to try to get us a special guest. Maybe I can get us a special guest. Maybe not. Who knows how the Friday night goes. Maybe it'll be a Friday night try. Maybe it'll be a Friday night just Jordane. Maybe it'll be a Friday night with good old Aunt Rhonda here hanging out. Either way, we'll see how all of that goes, and we'll try to make it all work. But I'm going to get into my final thoughts now. I want to get into my final thoughts so that we can square this episode away, and we can try to tie it all together and try to make it all make sense. Because at the end of the day, so now especially with dealing with the news that I got today, I think it's more important than ever for us to really try to take care of each other. Try to look up for each other. Try to look over for each other. Try to ask each other how you're doing. What's going on? How are you? If you haven't heard from one of your friends in a long time, hit them up. And I got to do the same thing, guys. I'm horrible at that. I'm one of the worst at communication. I'm not good at communicating whatsoever. I know that that's a tough thing for me, but I have to work on it. I definitely have to work on it, especially after I got my mind blown today, because it's just tough. It's just tough. I'm going to jump onto the chat one last time, and then we'll get out of here. But with my closing, my parting words are going to be, I love you guys. If you guys want to talk, just like Laura, I gotta hit you back up, Laura. I got to hit you back up. Always, always, always reach out to somebody, because even if there's some people who you don't think is going to care, there's always somebody who does. So you have to reach out and you have to try. Christopher Barclough, Jordane is a motivational speaker. Hey, man, I speak to you like I speak to myself. I'm trying to motivate myself. Hopefully I can motivate you a little bit in the long run. Laura, yeah. Have a life. How dare you? I'm trying. I'm trying. How dare anybody have a life, goddammit? How dare them? Rachel, good night. Thomas says hi. What's up, Thomas? I miss you, brother. I miss you. I can't wait to see you guys again. I will let you know whenever I head back down south. I'm going to be working on some dates pretty soon now, and we'll be good for that. Stephen Fowler, peace out, brother. Stay safe and see you next time. Stephen Fowler, I'll see you next time too, Bubba. I hope that you stay in contact with everything and keep me updated with your wrestling journey, man. I know that you're looking to getting back into pro wrestling, so keep me updated with how your journey's going. Christopher Barclough, I don't have many friends to talk to. Well, Christopher Barclough, that's why we're here. You have your friends here now. And we're here to talk to you, and we got your back as too. We got your back as well, brother. We got your back as well. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Haven't decided what that episode's going to be about or how it's going to go or any of that type of stuff, but it's going to be fun. I love you. Keep your head up. If you need to talk, I'm always here. Hit me up in the DMs. If I don't reach back to you in a day or two, I will reach back to you eventually. Eventually, I get through it. But you have to remember, I try to keep my mental health intact too, so I'm not on top of the internet stuff as much as most people are, I guess, because I try to stay separated sometimes. And I try to cut it out. And I don't even tell people, like, it's hard for me to be, I'm going to plan ahead to, no. I'm just going to cut it off, and then I'm going to fix this, try to get this straight, and then I'll try to mess with this stuff a little bit. But it's all about whatever you're most comfortable with, guys. It's what you're most comfortable with. But anyways, this was another fun episode. I love you guys. I am so glad to have you, and I appreciate us being able to have these conversations. You guys are a great influence on me. I hope that I have a positive influence on you, and we will see you all very soon. Kevin Hayes. Oh, perfect timing, Kevin Hayes. I was about to jump off here. Caught the tail end and due to power outages, cause of storm. But have a wonderful night. You got it, Kevin. Kevin, we will see you Friday. We'll be back on Friday, Kevin. I hope that you guys have a great night. I love you all.